Hello, everyone. Justin Crumley here with the Cujo Productions channel. Welcome back to another Cujo Sports Talk show. Sorry, guys, I'm not very excited to do this today. Why? If you notice the jersey I'm wearing, and if you've seen how they've been playing recently, you would understand why. Without further ado, here's a random clip.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk some baseball. Okay, so as it stands right now, the Tigers are in third place in the AL Central. Yes, third, with a 28-24 record as of right now. Oh boy, has it been a roller coaster watching this train wreck of a team. Oh, where do I begin? Well, a couple weeks ago I made a video about the Tigers, and I said that they weren't consistent. And they weren't. Now, for the most part, they've been pretty consistent. Consistent does not always mean good. They've been consistently bad for the past few weeks. I don't know what the deal is with this team. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they've been so bad. I mean, I guess my biggest issue would be the management. Brad Osmus. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's June. I know there's a lot of baseball left to be played. Maybe I'm jumping the gun about this, but I actually tweeted last night while they were losing, getting swept by the Angels. I said, I think maybe it's time. Maybe we need to consider a new manager already. And again, maybe I'm jumping the gun about this, but I'm sorry, guys. Brad Osmus is not a good manager. If anyone that has watched the Tigers in the last few weeks would probably agree with me. He mismanages a bullpen that's been pretty damn solid. I mean, the bullpen, except Jabba Chamberlain, we'll get into that in a second, has been pretty fucking stagnant. It's been great. I don't know why but he has this thing, just like Jim Leyland. Jim Leyland did the same thing. I love Jim Leyland, but I'm not going to hesitate to admit this. He left pitchers in too long. Brad Osmus is doing the same damn thing. About a week ago, they were playing the Houston Astros, and they were winning 7-4 after a really bad start by Anibal Sanchez, who's been very inconsistent. Well, anyway, yeah, Sanchez had 11 strikeouts in this game, but he gave up 7 runs. 6 of them earned. Now, you notice I said 7-4 at one point. How did it become 7-7? A couple of home runs because Anibal Sanchez was left in when he was well over 100 pitches. And why did that happen? Because Brad Osmus decided to leave him in. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, and last night it happened again too. David Price was well over 100 pitches, and he had trouble finding the strike zone at first. I mean, he gave up a single, then he gave up a walk, walked a guy, intentionally walked somebody else, loaded the bases with no outs, popped up, and then Osmus decides to take him out. I mentioned Jabba Chamberlain already. He's been pretty bad. I don't give a fuck what his ERA is. His ERA is pretty good. But, again, if you're watching the Tigers at all, he's not that good. He really isn't. He has a hard time keeping guys off the base half the time. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. You don't know if you're going to get a 1-2-3 inning or something like in Chicago where he put 2 guys on and then gave up a 3-run homer. Then it was last night. All he had to do was get a ground ball double play. Well, he got his ground ball, all right, up the damn middle. And Kinsler fielded it. Was it Kinsler or was it Iglesias? I'm not sure. Kinsler fielded the damn thing. 2-run score. How the fuck does that happen? I turned it off right there when it was 4-2. Me and my buddy Vinny, we were watching. We had just gotten done watching Elimination Chamber, which said, fuck this. Fuck this. Forget it. I ain't watching. Tigers got swept by the Angels. Guys, honestly, this is starting to feel like work, watching the Tigers. I love baseball. It's one of my favorite sports. I played it in high school. I know the rules of the game. I'm not saying I could be a better manager than Brad Osmus. I'm just saying sometimes I wonder, what the hell is he thinking? This is a team that coming into the season could either be really good or really bad. You didn't know what you were going to get. And at first, the Tigers looked absolutely amazing. They started, I think, 7-0. They were like 11-1 at one point, 11-2 or something like that. It's the first time since 1984. And that's a hell of a year to be compared to, because that was the last time the Tigers won a World Series. Now that we're in June, it's the end of May, they're 4 games over 500. They're 28-24. As of right now, I am questioning if this team is going to make the playoffs. Yeah, I'm at that point. Again, maybe I'm jumping the gun because it is just June and we got a lot of baseball left to play, but it's like I said, honestly, this is getting really hard to watch. This is absolutely abysmal. There needs to be some changes, namely to the offense. Score more than 2 damn runs, and maybe you'll win more games. You can't keep relying on your starting pitching to pitch a gem every night. You need to get runs. And sometimes it isn't even the offense. Like the game against Houston, they lost, 10-8, something like that? 11-8? I don't remember. I think it was 10-8. But that's because Sanchez gave up 7 runs, and then Albuquerque gave up a couple more, and yeah, whatever. That was just not a game I want to remember. Shane Green got lit up by the Angels on Saturday night. I think gave up like 4 homers in that game. It was absolutely abysmal. And that's just been the story. That's kind of been the Tigers this year. Inconsistent. And like I said, for the most part, since I made that last video, they've gotten a little more consistent, but not consistently good. Consistently bad. Seriously. I just hope that there are changes made, and I hope this team starts winning again, because this is probably our last year that we look like a good team. That window of opportunity is closing. Obviously, that window being the World Series. I think our best chance was 2013. And because of the bullpen being so crappy, just didn't happen. I just don't know what to say anymore. I've said all I needed to. They start a 3-game, I believe it's a 3-game series with the Oakland Athletics starting tomorrow, June 2nd. And the Athletics have been pretty bad, so I think 2 out of 3 would be good, but a sweep is probably absolutely necessary. Because let me remind you, the Tigers are in 3rd place in the AL Central. They're behind the fucking Royals, and the Royals are behind the Twins. Yeah, the fucking Twinkies. Just, it blows my mind how bad this team is. And when you look at them on paper, they look like a pretty decent team. They look like a team that can at least make a playoff run. Right now, the Tigers look like they could barely handle a AAA team. It's been pretty bad. And I guess the only people I got to call out are Brad Osmus and Hernan Perez. Brad Osmus needs to do a much better job at managing games, or he can get the hell out. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck how early it is. If he keeps managing the way he's managing this team, gone. Forget it. He is not a good manager. And Hernan Perez, this is the guy that's supposed to be our new utility guy, the 25th man on the roster, and he's batting like a fucking 67 or something, 65. He's absolutely horrible. He's not good at the plate. He's not good. The infielding, I haven't seen him do anything impressive there. I'm at the point where maybe they just need to DFA him. Who's going to pick them up? You've got guys, very few of them, albeit in the minor leagues, I'm pretty sure can do a better job than Hernan Perez. It's worth a shot. What do you got to lose? Just, I don't know. I don't know. This is absolutely horrible. The way this team has been playing. God awful. And I was listening to the radio today, and they said this team is unfixable because this is what you're going to get out of this team, or it's unwatchable. I can see the unwatchable part. Unfixable, I like to think it's not unfixable. I like to think we can still win the AL Central. I'd like to think that we can make the playoffs. I'd like to think we can go to the World Series and fucking win the damn thing. I'm just not convinced that it's going to happen right now. And with all the big contracts on the team, a rebuild, it's almost out of the question. So things that need to get better on this team: managing and the offense. And we could get some consistency out of our starters. That's what needs to get better. That needs to improve if this team is going to shoot for the playoffs and beyond that. That's really all I got to say about the Tigers. With all that said, let's move to the shout-out section. I've got 3 shout-outs today to give out. First shout-out goes to my friend Max K on Twitter. Write this down, at Maximus14352428. Let me repeat that, at Maximus14352428. Should definitely give him a follow if you're a Red Wings and a Tigers fan. This guy, he knows his stuff. He really does. Next shout out goes to a new Twitter page called Detroit Sport Talk, at Sport Talk Detroit. They followed me and asked me if I would give them a shout out, kind of spread them out. They're trying to expand their fan base. So yeah, definitely check these guys out if you're a fan of Detroit sports. They seem like a good bunch of fans, and yeah, that's really all I got to say. And finally, last shout out goes to my buddy John Check, at John Check on Twitter. YouTube channel is Justin Verlander 35. This guy talks everything Tigers, and during football season, he talks a lot of football, so that's really cool. Definitely check out his channel and follow him on Twitter if you're a fan of the Tigers or a fan of football, which I'm pretty sure anyone watching this is a fan of any of those. So yeah, way to go, guys. Alright, guys, that's all I got to talk about today about the Tigers. I'll be back here in a couple of weeks, about the middle of June, maybe around the 15th, 16th or something, to talk more Tigers. Hopefully by then I've got better news. I'm more happy and thrilled to be talking about the Tigers, because I really do hate coming on here and ripping on them, but guys, it is what it is. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to act like there's nothing going on with this team, because it hasn't been good, and watching this team has not been fun, and it's, like I said, such a shame, because I love watching baseball, and I love playing it, and all that good stuff. What are your thoughts on the Detroit Tigers? If you're a fan of the Detroit Tigers, comment below with your thoughts. Let's get a conversation going here. In any case, guys, have a great day. I'm Justin Crumley. This is Cujo Productions, signing out.